I don't care to look like, I don't care. I think we have a hearing on that use of force, then I'll look cool.
Fred, what is it? What are you in this room at?
Objecting to it.
No, that hearing's on that.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for this special meeting of the Board for the Civilian Police Oversight Agency. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Member Waits, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The mission of the Board for the Civilian Police Oversight Agency is advancing constitutional policing and accountability for APD and the Albuquerque community. Can I have an approval of the agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Great. Do we have any public comment? No public comment this evening, so we're going to move right into item 6 on our agenda. Administratively closed cases is up first.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would request the board accept all administratively closed cases as recommended by the agency.
Okay.
I would like to move that we follow the executive director's recommendation and that we accept the administratively closed cases.
Second.
Okay. I have a question about case number 112-19.
Okay.
That one just doesn't appear to be finalized.
In what way?
The investigation section just says the investigator reviewed your complaint in the previous complaints period. It doesn't really go into anything about what was found, which is atypical. I don't know if there's more to that story, but I just wanted to check on that, or if this is really a completed findings letter.
Well, I think I'm sorry, Chair Galloway, I think if you look at the complaint itself, I think that would explain the brevity by which the response is.
It was quite a complaint, for sure. So this was intentional. I just wanted to make sure of that. Okay?
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
108-19. It was an IA review that, when looking at it, what was included was the complaint and the IA review, and I guess I expected to have something from CPOA that said, we reviewed the IA review and we agree with it, or we don't, or whatever. Is that a wrong expectation on my part?
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair Fine, looking at this is a case where the complainant said that he was unable to retrieve his firearm.
Right.
And that it was, and that there were no that there was no evidence tag when he tried to find it, and when in fact it was found in the evidence unit, and they attempted to provide that information to the complainant, and they made those attempts. We sent it over because if in fact it wasn't inventoried, it would have been a theft, so therefore it would have been a criminal allegation. You're correct. There does need to be something that goes back to the complainant in this case, and so I will draft a concurrence letter.
I don't know. I have one more. Just a question on my part. It's a neighborhood feud. It's case number 009-19. It takes place in Rio Rancho, but it includes an APD officer. I think that your conclusion was correct. I just wondered, because in the letter it says, it mentions something about Rio Rancho, but I wondered why that was even in there. Does it matter? Because I just want to underscore that if it involves an APD officer, it doesn't matter where it happens. Isn't that correct?
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair Fine, that's correct. The reference to Rio Rancho is that we don't have the power to suggest the use of community mediation that we might be available in Rio Rancho.
Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it.
Through their community, because they're residents of Rio Rancho.
I knew there was a reason it had to be in there, but I couldn't get my hands around it. Yeah, that's all the ones I had. So you have a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yes.
Can we call the question? I mean, I think there's been a motion made and seconded.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes,
saying.
we're in discussion.
And now I'm asking to call the question.
What was the, okay, give me just 1 second. 10819, was that one of the ones that you had?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, where there was, okay. Alrighty. So the motion was to approve the administratively closed cases as presented, and there was a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Moving to the exonerated cases, item B, 74074-19.
Madam Chair, I would request the motion to accept the findings of the agency and the recommendation of exonerated.
Question, clarification question.
Just carry the motion, please.
yeah,
We haven't
yeah.
actually had a motion from up here.
Yes.
So,
Okay. You want to make a motion?
sure. Then I move that we accept the exonerated case 074-19.
A second. I have a question.
Yes.
This is the purse of a woman who is a transient. She claims that her purse was not returned to her. The video showed some stuff could not go to jail because of the nature of the stuff it was. So one bag of stuff went to the jail with her, to the hospital, I mean, with her. And then the other was trashed because it had to be. It mentions in there that the video showed her stuff at the hospital. I just wondered if her purse was visible in that stuff, or it was just in a bag and you didn't know what was in there.
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair Fine, it was her belongings, and I think what she was describing as a purse was more of a larger bag, knapsack.
And that wasn't there from the video you saw.
Right. It was there, but it was of such a condition that it could not be tagged into evidence.
Oh, I didn't understand that from the way it was written. Oh, so the purse had to go, and she's claiming that her ID and her money and all that. Okay. I understand now. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Moving on to item C, the sustained case 132-18.
Madam Chair, I would first request those that need to recuse themselves from this case to do so prior to a motion accepting the recommendation and the findings.
Okay, does anybody feel as though they need to recuse themselves?
Would you care to elaborate on the grounds?
Chair Galloway, Member Dr. Cass, this case has a huge history with the agency, and the complainant was known to reach out to individual members of the board and have ex parte communication with those members, and I believe that under the current ordinance, any of those communications outside of a publicly noticed open meeting would be ex parte communication, causing for that person to recuse themselves from this case.
So this complainant emailed the board as a whole, if I remember correctly. how much communication do you want to consider in that?
Chair Galloway, if in fact the only communication was communication directed to the full board and that there was no other communication with this complainant regarding this case, then I guess there would not be grounds for those to recuse themselves.
So with the
My understanding is that that's not the case.
With the exception of Tara, has anybody had any conversation regarding this case with the complainant?
Other than at the case review committee.
No, and I mean, I'm familiar generally with the case, but I don't recall any specific conversation about this.
If I had specific conversations, I don't remember them. Do you know if I did? Because I don't think I did.
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair Fine, I can't account for all of your communications.
Well, I know, but I mean, I did, Mr. Larson, who's the complainant, came to our case review committee, and that wasn't the whole board. Does that count?
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair Fine, I would not consider that part of the definition of the ex parte communication.
Okay, and I don't think I've had any other.
Member Waits? Okay.
Hello.
All right, I haven't had any conversation with him either. So, that said, I would entertain a motion to accept.
I so move.
Okay?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Moving on to item D, unfounded, case number 131-19.
Chair Galloway, I would request a motion to accept the findings of the agency as recommended.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the unfounded case 131-19 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Review of the appeal case number, this is item number 7 on our agenda, case number 095-19.
I don't, the review of the appeal, I don't think that, what I read, do you need a motion first? I would make a motion that we deny the appeal. I don't think that it meets the criteria that we set in our policies and procedures for an appeal.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. We don't have an item agenda for other business, but if I may, I would like to just one more time for clarification. I know I've done this a couple of times, but forgive me. When you are looking at a case and you have video evidence or what have you from lapel cameras, other evidence that suggests or implicitly, disproves the complainant's complaint, why again are those administratively closed and rather than unfounded or exonerated? And forgive me, I know you've told me this.
Chair Galloway, the reason for that is we're allowed to do that through the administratively closed standard of unable to minimally substantiate what's on the complaint. If we were to take the next step and initiate a full investigation, it would include targeting officers, interviewing officers, and going through a full investigation to reach the same conclusion. So it's a matter of efficiency. It is a standard that the monitor continues to review, and with the last 2 monitors' reports, have found that we have been using the standard properly and not abusing it.
And I know that that's what the IMRs have been saying. One of the conversations that we had with Dan Giaquinto was that it's something that they are monitoring and cautioning against using that tool so liberally, although they haven't seen it rise yet to the level of concern to meriting concern for the IMRs. I'm just kind of wondering if maybe we ought to, when it's there and we know how it's going to end, just finish that out, but
Chair Galloway, at this point, I'm not willing to do that, given the resources that we have with the staff that we have, based upon the number of complaints. If we can administratively close it without if we can administratively close it using that standard,
Right.
then we're going to use that standard as opposed to doing a full-fledged investigation, interviews, officers, going through that, writing a longer, detailed findings letter to reach the same conclusion.
okay.
There's something that gives us all the hiccups about this, and I pray that we get to a place where we all appreciate it. I keep going back and forth to what you say, to the other. I feel like, sometimes I felt like I want the officer to be exonerated because it's clear they didn't do what they've been accused of. But in order to, the trade-off is they don't get to be part of they don't take time away from work and do all that.
Sure.
And it doesn't end up in their record.
Member Waits?
Mr. Harness, I just have a generic question here. We don't have any bad cases, like 17 or 18. Are we in 19, case number?
Do we have both feet in 19?
Yeah. Do we have any backlog or anything that we need to go back in?
Chair Galloway, Member Waits, we do have some cases from 2018. The bulk of those are from a former investigator within the office. I think I have all of those cases in my office now, and I'm working through those, trying to clear those up. But we will continue to triage the cases, do the preliminary investigations, and where there is the possibility that discipline will be a part of that case, then those will be the priority so that they're timely.
Okay. Thank you.
That doesn't apply to, those are civilian complaints, correct? Not necessarily serious use of force or officer-involved shooting cases that are backlogged.
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair, fine, that's correct. I will have a better idea of when Force Review Board will commence after the training on the 30th and the 31st of July.
Okay. And then the only other little thing is, does somebody proofread these before they go out? Please tell me.
Chair Galloway, yes, we go through them one time before the code because these are the drafts.
Okay. All right, awesome. That's it.
We will need to know about Nicole or Las Vegas within the next couple of days.
Those are the only two choices. I sent you a request for a different one I found.
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair, fine. Yeah, we couldn't fit that one in because it started yesterday.
No. It's in September 30th to October 3rd. It's just the description had that date on it. But the event I'm talking about is September 30th to October 3rd.
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair, fine. I guess I'm confused because those are the Las Vegas dates, the September 30th.
I sent you an email about one in...
I clicked on the link and it sent me to a July 11th training.
Yeah,
So
I'll talk to you.
Okay.
About it.
I move we adjourn.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.